Hello. I'm Forrest Shaw. I've got a problem. I've got a problem. I still have a problem. I'm always going to have a problem. I'm always going to have some sort of problem. You know what I haven't done in a while is I've got another problem. Guess what? Not doing it this week either. I've kind of just been getting into the guests, which I like. I'm not doing that right now, but I have enjoyed that. By the way, new listeners, and there are new listeners. Thank you. I see the numbers going up. Thank you for being part of, I don't want to say the word community because I'm a comedian and it's hard for me to, part of our community. I've got a problem, podcast community. If you haven't already, subscribe, rate, leave a comment, please, on YouTube. Leave some comments. We need more comments there, but leave them everywhere. What does it matter? Just throw one on there. If you're enjoying the podcast, the more the merrier. I have my own YouTube page now. I've got a problem podcast. Please subscribe to that if you haven't already. And if you're listening only audio, thank you for being here too. I have some shows coming up. I have, I don't even know which week this is. Did a lot of podcasts in a row. Oh, I think I'm going to be in, I'm going to be in Las Vegas at the Comedy Cellar and in the Rio from September 14th to the 20th, or it's the 15th to the 21st. It's that week, Monday to Sunday. It's on my website, forrestshaw.net. The week after that, I'll be in Boise, Idaho. If you're in Boise, Idaho, or you know anybody in Boise, Idaho, please tell them to come out to the Lounge at the End of the Universe. It's a really cool club there. Look excited to do those two shows. And then I'll be in Texas and Florida, everywhere, like Plano, Austin, LaGrange, Florida, all over. It's all on forrestshaw.net. Dates are being added all the time. And I am definitely going to Australia now. It is being in the works. I know I said that and it was going to be this year, but I have a whole new show that I'm writing. It's like a marine biology themed comedy show called The Ocean Hates You. The Ocean Hates You. And I'm going to be running that over there at some of the festivals like the Adelaide Fringe and etc. I think I'm going to be in Adelaide, Melbourne, and Sydney mostly. Maybe get to Perth, maybe Newcastle, perhaps Brisbane. I think that would be it. But I will hopefully have that finalized soon. I need to, because I need to get all my travel arranged. Also, if you want to donate to the podcast on the website, on the podcast page, there's a little donate button. Don't need to. Absolutely don't need to. Listen free of charge. But if you feel like you want to, then do it. Show phone number. You want to call in with questions, comments, whatever, 305-563-7264. That is the +1 area code of the United States. And with that being said, let's get to the guest today. I met my guest, Sydnee Washington, when I was doing a week at the Comedy Cellar, the aforementioned Comedy Cellar in Las Vegas. I've had several guests on recently. Jamie Wolf, who was on, he was on the same week as Sydnee. And I was very excited to meet them because they're both really nice people and really funny comics, but also like, hey, we're addicts and we'll do your podcast. Hey, it's me. Sydnee's really funny and great. I'm glad I had her on her. I'm glad I'd say it right at the beginning too. Need to have more women on that podcast. So I'm happy that I got her on. I enjoyed talking to her. I think you guys will enjoy listening. So I will see you on the other side. Thanks. My guest today is Sydnee Washington. She's a comedian and an actress, and she co-hosts a podcast with Marie Faustin. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, called Mess. And you have a half-hour comedy special on Hulu right now, right?
Yes, I do.
Congratulations.
Yay. Thank you.
You can also find her on Instagram and TikTok at JustSydBW. So that's just SYDBW. Thanks for being here. We met in Las Vegas at the Comedy Cellar, did a whole week together there. And I first of all, thank you for being on the podcast. Also, I'm very excited to have on your podcast for multiple reasons. One is I've had less women, as you'd imagine, than men on this podcast. So I'm happy for that. I think that...
Now, why is that? Why is it more men than women?
Oh, I thought you were going to say, why am I excited for that? I was going to tell you, I was raised just by my mom, just me and my mom. So I think that women have, I mean, obviously you have a different perspective on things, but also in some ways like a more gentle perspective, is for lack of a better word. But I think I think that there might, this is what I was gonna ask you. Do you think there's some sort of stigma when it comes to, like, addiction, like, that women that have an addiction versus men? Like, there's a lot of things like that in the world, you know?
I think it really just comes to the terms of, like, when you think about addiction, you could be addicted to anything. So I think a lot of times people just associate it with, drugs and alcohol and, rock bottom, worst case scenario. But people are addicted to tons of things. People are addicted to attention. People are addicted to people pleasing. People are addicted to gambling. There's so many ways that you can be addicted to something. And sometimes people just like worry about the worst case scenario. So
Yeah,
I'm friends with tons of women, and lived with women and tons of family members, and people can be addicted to the most random things, and it can really shake, rock your world. So,
yeah,
and I think there is a stigma with women because we don't want to appear as though we don't have it together,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. I mean, I
Especially
think
if you're head of the household.
that's probably a really good analysis of that because, I mean, there's that classic stereotype of like, oh, just throw on a hat and some sneakers if you're a guy, and then a woman's like, well, if I'm leaving the house, I'm not going to look like
Mhm,
this, kind of
mhm.
thing. And that's just kind of like the social norms that we've put out there. But yeah, I didn't even ask you. I always ask all my guests, like, what's your problem? Yeah.
What's my problem? My problem is that I overthink everything.
Oh, yeah.
Overthink everything. Like, I am, you know, sober, and I've been sober for 8 years, and I've, been doing the work, and gradually. And so now that I'm less into worrying about, like, drugs and alcohol, things of that, I just overthink everything that I do because I'm very conscious. I'm very
Yeah.
aware, and I wasn't self-aware before. I was doing whatever the hell I wanted, and I would do and think later. And so now it's a lot of think, and then I might not do anything.
Yeah. That's great because, you know, I, gambling's my addiction. I mean, food for sure too. I've talked about that a lot on here. And I still, yeah, I think that's a great thing to apply to addiction is think first and then do, that. But I still do that with a lot of stuff in my life. I think last. I just like do stuff, and it's rarely good if you just do it without, like,
Mhm,
at least just should I change this light bulb and a ladder in the pool?
mhm.
So, but one thing I wanted to talk to you about, because I've been thinking about this a lot. I've been losing weight, and it's so difficult normally. And then if you're a comedian, just times 10 because you're on the road and you have to, you know, you know. But when I met you, you were doing I think it was like a 75-day. Is that right? No
Hard
sugar challenge?
75.
Hard 75.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is that again?
Oh man, it's honestly, I was like, who the hell thought of this? This is ridiculous. Like, first of all, 2025 is already hard. So why do we need to make it harder? And basically you have to work out twice a day. So you work out in the gym and then you got to do something outside, 45 minutes each, right? Boom. Then 10 pages of nonfiction every day. And then you create a diet, like whatever you want. And so I was addicted to sugar and caffeine and soda and fried food, so I cut all that out. Um, and yeah, yeah, I was not happy. I'm to be quite honest. I was aggy every single day.
Yeah, you know what? I only thought it was sugar. I didn't realize it was the whole thing because I know, for most people listening to this, never been into a green room before, but specifically the one we were in Las Vegas,
Mhm.
you are sitting on a couch across from a table of sugar.
All the
Like,
candy.
they just put like candy and taffy and, oh, there's just sodas in a fridge to grab, and then just crap. There's never like, hey, we got you some kale salads, and if you guys want a green
No.
drink, anything. So it's just
No.
straight garbage. So I thought it was just
That's
sugar.
not gonna
I
make
didn't
you
know it
funny. Some greens? Ew. What? A carrot? Boo.
man, I didn't know it was all that. That sounds good though. That
Mhm.
I mean, and you're done with it now?
Yeah, I'm done. I finished that like on the 15th of August, and I was like, I couldn't believe that I did it. And the thing is, what you I don't know, as like an ADHD avoidant person, I'm just like, yo, I just need to get it over with. That's it. But it really is something to celebrate because it's like, well, obviously I know how to cut things out of my life because I've,
Yeah.
stopped doing, Patron and cocaine. But sugar is in everything, honey. It's in everything. So I wasn't able to cut out sugar completely, but like additive sugars, you know what I mean? Because there's sugar in bread and stuff, but like I wouldn't like actively get candy or like have juices with sugar in it and stuff like that. So
Yeah, sugar is, if you go on the internet and if you put sugar as a drug, is sugar a drug? There's all sorts of, people that'll say it's not because this, that, what people, and then I was reading an article by the like National Institute of Health, and they said that it does exhibit properties of that. Like, there are, because someone was saying, well, there's no withdrawals. I'm like, I don't know if you've ever tried to just cut out sugar completely, but
that's a
what that's
damn
what
lie.
that's what I've been doing
Yeah,
that's one of the big things I've been doing to lose weight is because the soda was crazy, but also all the additive sugars,
all the additive
and
sugars.
that first week, because I was so heavy when I started losing weight, I'm down to 75 pounds I've lost now, but so that first stuff just kind of melted off because I was just drinking water, not eating added sugar, not eating like bad carbs. And my body was just like, yeah, we've been trying to get your attention for a couple years now. Like, just
Hmm.
this is all you had to do to get rid of the first, 30, 40 pounds. But that first week or two is like the headaches were brutal,
Yeah.
like brutal. I had lower back pain that I'm sure part of it was due to my weight. Of course it was, but that literally after the first week of not eating sugar, it went away. And just like, so I had like inflammation, like headaches, like all these things that, it's a different thing than cocaine, meth, or alcohol or something like that. But
Hmm.
felt like there was withdrawals. I'm not saying it's nearly as severe. I know alcohol, but if you're an alcoholic, drug addict, stuff like that, you have to be monitored, you know, to if you're gonna just go like, stop drinking and stuff like that if you've been in.
Yeah,
But
we're not in a padded room, just strung out because we couldn't have no Sour Patch Kids. But I was definitely really aggravated, irritated. I I didn't really want to go nowhere because I just knew that I couldn't partake in most of the things that are fun. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, yeah,
sugar is fun, soda, coffee. Yeah, we need some of those things just to have conversations. So yeah, it was pretty. I was pretty frustrated in the beginning, but then after a while, I was like, all right, I'll be fine.
yeah. That's part of the. I have some friends that think that they can't do anything around you anymore. Like I was just working in a casino. I was working in a casino with you, but I was
Hmm.
doing a show in a casino near San Diego. And afterwards, my friends wanted to hang out, and they were like, "Oh, is it okay if we gamble? And can we let you know?" I was like, "Yeah," but there's kind of like this, like people kind of, I don't know, like you said, not having fun anymore. I mean, I still have fun. I actually, this is my personal thing, at least. I went around, I got a drink. I don't have a problem drinking. I barely drink. Maybe I have a
Hmm.
drink every 2 weeks or something like that. But um, I had a drink watching them gamble. And it actually, I look at it from a perspective now where I just look at it, I'm like, oh, this is the stupidest thing ever. When I watch people gamble, I'm like,
Yeah.
especially at slot machines, it's just like adults in front of a cartoon, just like bam. It's like putting money into a cartoon, basically, the way slot machines look now. But and I've
But
done
it's
that
that
before. I'm not.
hit. It's
Yeah,
that hit
yeah,
when you
yeah.
actually get something because I know that I would have an issue with gambling because when I go to Dave and Buster's, oh baby, you got to pull me off them machines.
The
And it's
tickets?
like, yeah,
Yeah.
the tickets, because I went to Michael Che's birthday party twice in like 2 years back to back, and we were getting cards where it's like I don't
Yeah.
know 100 tickets on there. When I tell you, I was running through that thing because I kept getting. I have one card that I think has maybe 10,000 credits on it or something like that. Like I could go get something now. I could
Were you,
go.
like,
I'm like,
not
"Can I get an
present
Xbox now?" Like I have a lot of credits on there.
for the whole party? You just weren't present? You were just, like, playing
No.
skee ball?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody could talk to me. No, you like literally I am hitting buttons, I am getting tokens, I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. I was like, "Please don't speak to me. This is fun for me."
Yeah. No, and I was saying, I get it. I've done all of that gambling stuff. Anything gambling, I've done it, and I've done it hard. So I'm not making fun of those people. I just look at it differently now because the
Mhm.
slot machines now are just so gamified. They I think those old school ones were like they just the cherry would come up and then whatever, and you pull a lever. Now they make sounds that go ding 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 ding, and they keep repeating these
'Cause they
sounds,
know.
and I think it's that Pavlovian thing where like, you keep like
I mean, as a
so
kid, you couldn't get me off of Super Mario Kart in, GoldenEye 007. I'm
oh yeah.
pressed. I would be on those things for hours. So it's just like you really can be. I don't know if it's the ADHD or spectrum. I don't know what it is, but I can be hooked on easily anything if I wanted to. I'm never hooked on the good stuff, but I can be hooked on anything that can you know, take away from what I really should be doing.
You just did the 75, the hard 75. You got to give yourself credit. That's like being hooked on. You worked out twice a day, whatever. Well, I don't know what you read, but read something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Did you have to read a book? Is that what you did? Or
Yeah, I was reading a lot of self-help stuff,
Mm.
the artist way, things to just to be in line with the new version of myself. And I will honestly, I'm gonna be quite frank. Um, Some of that stuff is like obviously you need it. You need it to you got to believe in something to keep going and be in the positive. But I'm so cynical and I'm so like negative at times. I'm like, get the fuck out here. Like, come on. You know what I mean? Because the book is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Artist Way is all about it's somewhat connected to God or whatever religion you're in. But it's like, you know, yeah, you kinda have to think of a higher power for you to be like, "Imma keep going. Imma keep doing
Well,
this," you know?
it's really hard as a comedian to read any self help stuff because just
Yeah.
our brains are, we're just constantly thinking of how do I make this funny? And so you're reading that and then you're like, well, this is ridiculous. Like I'm just, that's for me, whenever I was just watching like a TED talk of a guest that I'm having on that's a psychotherapist thing.
Mhm.
And it was like such a positive thing. I was just like, it's so weird it's hard as a comedian to be positive like that, I think, so.
Yo, I'm telling you, Forrest, is like right now, I'm still kind of trying to shake off the hard 75 vibes, but I will say that I felt the least funniest during that time because I was so trying to be inward and, healthy and, working out and really putting myself first. And I'm like, that's not funny.
Yeah.
Putting yourself first, taking care of yourself. The funny is in being disheveled. Oh, I lost my keys. Oh my God, I'm peeing and it smells like Starbucks. Like that stuff is funny to me. And just like going to bed on time and I'm drinking water like that. I was like, oh my God, get me in a home. Shut it down.
Yeah, I vividly remember a set I was doing. It was like at a highlight place of all places, speaking of gambling,
Mhm.
that in Miami where I started, and there was just randos there. It was some show. I was like, 3 years in the comedy or something. and some lady that was, I think she was German, she had an accent, and she just stopped me like very politely. She like raised her hand. She goes, why is this all negative? Like, why is comedy like you? And I go, oh, is this
Mhm.
your first comedy show? I was like, because that's not what we have to. We're not like, "Hey, everything's great, guys, hilarious, right? But yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but I'm learning though, people who this is crazy that it took me so long to get to where I am right now, even with like my half hour and stuff. It's like people come out, they having a good time, or they're leaving their house so they can have a good time. Yes, sometimes I don't want to hear about your sad ass shit. They don't want to hear about your mom's funeral unless it is hysterical. Like, did a clown jump out? Like, was there a marching band?
yeah,
Like, nobody
yeah,
wants to. They're trying to get away from their problems. So sometimes we're so morbid and dark that they're damn, like,
yeah.
am I talking to my Uncle Sugar Dude? Like that, like, why is this so fucking sad?
Yeah, no, I think about that a lot too because I think about the gigs I'm missing because of that. Like, I
Mhm.
once in a while do a corporate thing, which I'm not saying those are fun corporate gigs, but they pay well. So, like, I would
Yes.
definitely do more, you know? Like, I'm not saying like creatively I'm going to be fulfilled, but man, the checks for those are always like, whoa, okay. Um,
Pretty
and
cute.
yeah, so I think like, oh, maybe I should get some more upbeat stuff in there. Yeah, instead of just like, wah, like just
It
like I'm an
does
addict.
help.
And
I
just
think it
yeah,
does help because it's just
yeah,
like, you know, s there are some happy people out there. Is it You be surprised. You'll be surprised that people are kind of loving their life or wanna love their life or have the want to have a good time, and so if
yeah,
they paying, $25 to get in and 2 drink men, yeah, baby, we gonna have to up it up,
yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah. I do worry about that when when I'm in Vegas, and I have like a huge chunk where I talk about gambling addiction,
Mhm.
but I just do a few jokes when I'm in Vegas because I know I'm looking at the crowd and they're like, "Shut the hell up! Like we are here to gamble. Like we don't." Same
That's what
thing if you would do it. Yeah,
I had never I couldn't believe being in Vegas with y'all because I was like, "This is my first time a whole week in
yeah,
Vegas, and I'm not that gal." And I'm used to like New York crowds are like my audience. And so I said, oh my God, I have to come back to Vegas and not win the people over, but like I just need to be able to adjust to people who are like, yeah, I've never been to Ibiza. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't hang out with ballers, shot callers. Like, yeah.
But I
Tell
thought you
me
did
about
great.
Walmart. Tell me about Walmart. You ever been to Walmart? Target? Yeah.
I thought you did great. I don't know why you're being hard on yourself. That was a fun week. I thought we had a good week.
Alway I'm
Yeah.
always hard on myself. That's
You were
another
after like you would have a great set and then you'd be like, ah. I'm like, but that's a comic thing. I mean,
that's all
like
of us, that's all of
any
us. We're all like that.
anytime a comedian comes off stage and is like, yeah, crush it. I'm like, I'm not gonna be friends with you. I don't think. Like, I don't
Oh,
yeah.
no, but honestly, we need to be friends with people like that because the delusion. I My problem is I'm not delusional enough or delusional at all. I'm very like in the moment of like, what do I have right now? What am I
Yeah.
missing? And delusion is all about, oh, I'm about to get this. We there already. Honey, the money came. The deposit for $1 million, I got that. So yeah, I think I need to be addicted to that. Just a little bit.
I will say as a tip for and by the way, I had Jamie Wolf on a couple episodes
Mhm.
ago. So it was like the addicts row there. Like for our whole lineup, other than Mark, it was like it
Yeah.
was just like that. But since I thought it was your first time in Vegas, period. I know at the cellar. I know you did that was your first time at the club there,
That was
but
my first time at the Cellar. The second time I was, performed at Vegas, I did the half hour for, LOL Live for, Kevin Hart. And then another time I was there for I was shooting a pilot for like some dating show, and we performed there. But
okay.
so yeah, it wasn't I guess it wasn't my first time, but it was a week. A
Yeah.
one time you perform in and out, but a week,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I'm seeing the same types of people in Vegas
A
every
week's a
day.
lot.
Yeah.
And I usually get in the day before, and then you also don't leave till Monday. So it's like even more than a week when you think about it.
Hmm.
But it is like it's an adult playground. So it can be hard to navigate as an addict, no matter what I don't care what it is, drinking,
Hmm.
drugs, gambling, food, the sex, whatever, it is there.
Hmm.
So I think what you were doing by the end of the week is what I always do is you got to keep yourself busy. There are wholesome activities and things you can do there. So I know you went to the Sphere and saw the didn't you see the movie or something at the
Yeah,
Sphere?
I did.
Yeah.
That was so cool. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I see why people are giving their money to this
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it was so dope. And I would love to go to a concert because I love lights. That's another thing I'm
Yeah.
addicted to is fuck boy lighting. Just I want neon lights coming out everywhere. I want to feel like the mountain is hitting me in the face. I like immersive entertainment. So yeah, the
Yeah.
Sphere was right up my alley. I could have been there all day.
Yeah, and we did battle bots as a group. We went with the battle
That was dope.
bots. That was
Yeah.
awesome. I knew it was gonna be fun, but I was like, "Oh, this is pretty great." And then that's what I do when I'm there, just so you know. Like, so I've been going to Vegas a long time because I live in LA. It's right there. I do a lot of shows there.
It's right there.
Um, I do the club there, the cellar, probably like 4 times a year on average, so I'm there
Man,
that
okay.
and then, and so there's like the Pinball Hall of Fame there, which is just basically all these pinball machines, $10. You're busy for like 4 hours. You gotta go there next time.
I gotta
If it
go. That
if it
is so
wasn't
me. Yeah.
we were there in the middle of the summer. If it's cooler, you go out to the Valley of Fire, you go hiking. It's beautiful. It's not even hard hikes. It's just one of the most stunning places you ever see. You guys are Hoover Dam. You just got to keep yourself busy there. That's my opinion. I was like, as an addict of anything, you're like, hey, look, I'm staying here. I'm working here. Obviously, there's all these pitfalls and traps and stuff like that. But I'm putting everything in place and so that I don't, you know, do anything that I don't want to do. But keeping yourself busy. I feel like you start to crack that code at the end of the week. You got to do that. You
Yes,
can't
at the
just
end
sit in
of the
your
week.
room the whole
Yeah.
time.
No, 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 no. My girlfriend came. My friend lives there. Like, I really do need activities. Like, activities
Yeah.
really keep me going because before Hard 75, let me tell you, I laid on my back. I was on my back. I love the bed, lounging. I love not doing anything. And so now that I was like, oh, maybe that was adding to the depressiana. That maybe that's why I was so damn sad. So now I'm like, I have to ride a bike, I have to hike, I have to do something so that I'm not just sitting still and feeling like the time is just passing me by.
Yeah, beds are interesting. I was, I'm on the West Coast, you're on the East. So
Hmm.
when you told me what time you wanted to do this, I was happy because it was 9 a.m. for me.
Hmm.
And I like
And
getting
you're
up
up.
early and doing stuff
Yeah.
because I don't sleep really long, but I will just sit in bed and obviously the phone, speaking of addictions, my dog will jump in the bed and turn upside down and be like, scratch my belly. And I'll do that for like 2 hours, but that's like a wholesome thing, but still. And so there's that fine line with your bed where it's like, this is super necessary for you to get rest to survive. And then there's a threshold you cross over into depression. Like you said,
Oh,
it's like
I've been
yeah,
out of that. I've been because when I used to party, I used to rarely sleep. I was up all night, all day. I would get a little bit of rest in the day, and then we're doing it again. The same, like, up, I'm back up. You got to go to work. I'm working, and then I'm going to the parties after the after party. Then I'm getting up. Then we're going to the diner. Then I'm going to another. It's like I rarely. I didn't get enough sleep for most of my 20s, beginning, yeah, most all of my 20s. And so I guess my body caught up when I was getting sober or whatever. And so now it's like that's my favorite pastime is like sleep. You can't fight me on how good sleep is. When like I can knock out anywhere. I've slept at parties, I sleep on a plane, train, cars, I could be on a bench in front of my building. I could lay on the
wait a second.
ground.
Wait a second.
There's not
Parties?
one place that yeah, oh yeah, parties. Oh yeah, a friend of mine had a studio session for her birthday. People are rapping, music is loud, people eating pizza, all this stuff. I saw a blanket and I said, "This is my opportunity. I just need to close my eyes for 30 minutes." And I did. And they got a whole song together. They put a whole track down, me passed out on the couch. No one took a photo, so these are good friends of mine, but yeah, I was gone. And then they had something
I
else and
bet
they
you.
didn't invite me, and I was like, "This is why I'm not getting invited because sis, you fell asleep. Like, you're not fun."
Yeah, I get that though. I value rest a lot now. Not always just sleep,
Mhm.
but rest, you know.
Now
Were
I don't
you
know if I'm resting, I'm definitely sleeping. It's avoidant. It's like when I'm
well,
closing my eyes and I'm out, I'm trying to escape the things that I need to do.
no, I'm saying I can't sleep like that. I can't sleep on a plane for some reason, like sitting
Oh,
up I'm not good at it sleeping sitting up. I'll just keep doing that thing where I wake up and I know my neck like that, and I'm like, like I need to get a neck. I don't know what I need to do. That thing where
it's weekend
you
at
tie your head to
Bernie's.
the seat.
Every time I'm on a plane, my body is like, I look insane. I'm laid out. The person next to me is always worried, like, is she alive? Is she okay?
I stare at people like you, and I've gotten caught at it before too. At like,
You
doesn't
have
matter,
to.
just staring because I'm jealous. Like I look at people sleeping and like, how the fuck are you? Like
Yep.
on a plane because we fly for a living, and I'm just like, what the? I'm like,
Yep.
why can't I do this? And then sometimes people will just wake up, and I'm just looking at them like, sorry. It's like it's not what you think. Like it's like, but
I'm probably a narcoleptic. There's most
uh,
likely a strand of narcolepsy in my body because it is like that.
yeah,
Before the flight is even up in the sky, I'm already knocked. And
I
so,
hate, I hate you.
yeah, and I would love I
Um,
wish I could pass that down to you, but I think, that's another thing that I'm addicted to is sleep.
It's not happening for me. I'm about to be a million miler with Delta, which I'm not proud of, but it's just
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah.
You need to talk
And
about this. That is an accomplishment. That
when
is
I
huge.
achieve it, I will announce it. I'll probably achieve it
Yeah.
in
So wait, are you
February, I think.
diamond? You platinum?
I'm platinum right now, but I'm not flying that much this year. So thankfully, so I won't be next year. And you know what's bullshit? And
Yes, talk to me.
so I and like this is all this. By the way, comedians. For those of you listening, there are most of you are comedians. I think almost everybody. This is a conversation a lot of comedians have. What your status is when you fly, because
Got to.
when you start doing comedy, you should pick an airline. And that doesn't mean you're going to fly other airlines. By the way, I've flown plenty of other airlines. I'm going to be a million miler in Delta with all the other. I'm flying Southwest tomorrow morning, so because I have to. But I when you get to be million miler, I was like, oh, what do you get as a gift? I think there's some sort of thing you get to choose, like a little miniature airplane or something. They send you like some sort of trophy, but then you are lifetime gold, which is garbage. I'm like, lifetime gold. Like gold is fine. You get free check-in bags. Occasionally you'll get an upgrade. You get to go through the priority line, but you're not getting. You're probably not going to get the first class upgrades on all these things
Wait,
that like
why? That's the whole point.
because gold isn't as good as platinum or diamond. So lifetime gold. If you're a million miler, you should get lifetime platinum. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they just want you spending more money. That's it. That
2 million miles it takes to get lifetime platinum. I'm like, I won't make 2 million miles. I don't have enough money or time probably to do
how do you
another
get
$1 million.
2 million?
Yeah.
How do you do that? How
I
many
think it's people that fly, like as much as I fly
international?
or comics fly, like as much as we fly, the people that get like, yeah, that movie Up in the Air with George Clooney, I think he gets 7 million in that movie, and they name a plane after him. I think you have to fly like every other day, kind of.
Yeah,
So
nah. That's
don't want to
phew,
do
I
it.
don't
Yeah.
know.
You
Mm-mm.
could do it. You sleep. If I could sleep like that on lanes, I would just be on them. Just like, all right, I'll take the long way I got to get to Iowa. I'm going to fly the other way around the world. Just find a cheap ticket, get all the miles. So it's like time traveling, that kind of sleeping
Yeah.
stuff. I envy that. Um, so when you were drinking, doing drugs, stuff like that, were you doing comedy or did that overlap at all?
No, when I first, got into nightlife or whatever, I just, I got out of college. I was a hostess at a hotel. Well, I was co-check, then hostess, and then you know, you start hanging with people, you drink, you're friends with bartenders, you're getting drinks. You're like, oh my God, the drinks are great. It's making the day go by faster. The nights are more fun. And then, then I became a waitress, and then I'm at a more like chaotic club. And yeah, I was like doing that for maybe 8 years. And then I got into comedy for maybe 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a hard you went okay, so you decided to stop living that lifestyle and doing all that shit, and then you got into a profession that it's hard to not, like people that's why I asked. Like
Well,
it's
I
like
I was when I the beginning of comedy, I was, like, drinking, like, I was hosting open mic, so I'm drinking at 3 p.m., you know, going to a lot of places just trying to, get these jokes in, but I'm also kind of blackout, and I'm still working at my, nighttime gigs or whatever, so, yeah, I got fired from a place called Riff Raffs. I got fired from Riff Raffs for being a Riff Raff, which is
yeah.
like, hey, hey, I'm literally standing by the title of the club. Like, what the fuck? What did you
Be
want
your
more than you want
mascot,
from me?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. And so when I got fired from this place, and this place, RIP, it no longer exists, a shithole. Not okay, maybe not a shithole. It was a hot, crunchy ass mess. They're like putting face paint on people who spent like $5,000 on a table. They got tikis, these people coming out on surfboards with bottles of Patron everywhere. People are spraying people with champagne. It was legit. It was like, is people adults here? They're adults, but they're really children with credit cards that don't know how
Yeah.
to act. And
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah, I got fired from a place like that, and I was like, well, if I get fired from a place, that means it's bad. I'm down and out. You know,
Uh,
this is the time to wake up. And so that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna get sober. I hadn't lost so much money. I didn't have no savings account. Just whole life is a wreck. And so I was like, yeah, this is time to clean it up. And then had already started comedy, and then I realized, oh, comedy is harder without alcohol. But then I
harder
was like, well, I got
than
huh?
harder than what about alcohol? Sorry,
I was
comedy?
like, starting being in stand up late at night is harder when you can't drink,
Oh, yeah.
when
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't partake.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like I said, alcohol, drugs has never been an addiction for me.
Mhm,
Abuse, sure, I've abused both, but when I started comedy, in my brain, even as a non-alcoholic, I was like, "Oh, I should have a drink before I go on stage."
mhm.
Because your nerves, you're so nervous for however many years till you get, you know, consistent, And so I I got to the point where I was like, I gotta have a drink, a beer or a shot or something before I go on stage and whatever. And it was just like, so I look at, friends of mine that are alcoholics that had alcohol issues and stuff that are comics, or drugs. And I'm just like, yeah, it must even be harder, And I have a friend that I know quit and he started to become a pretty big comic and he was worried it wouldn't be funny anymore, if he didn't drink, like, or his timing wouldn't be there. And then you look back and that's kind of crazy because like your timing is certainly going to be better if you're not drunk, if your like brain is
It's
operating,
so much better.
but your brain
It's
tells you the opposite, like, oh, I'm not going to be as good,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
um,
it's pretty scary just believing that you're not good. That you can't be good. But
yeah,
yeah, it was, yeah, I got more serious into comedy and was not drinking, and it was cool. And then I relapsed, and I was like, damn, I gotta get back into it. And so yeah, I'm glad that I've gone through all the different eras of sobriety and comedy and figuring out my life, because now I have the tools to work through whatever I'm going through.
yeah, for sure. And then were you pretty young when you got like into like drinking or really?
I mean, I was drinking in college, everybody, and I went to school in Massachusetts and Worcester, so, like, all we had was liquor. That's all we had. Devil Springs, the keg stands, that's all we had, school was we go to class and you're like, "This is what we spending our money on?" Like, what are we gonna do with all this? Like, literally, when I was in college, it's like, "What am I doing with all this information that's in my brain? Am I going to use it again?" And hey, just want to let you know, anybody who's, you know, in college right now, 9 times out of 10, unless you get the job in the field, in the major, that you will not be using that information. There's so much stuff that I learned in college that I'm like, it's gone now. It's gone. It's
Yeah.
literally, I did not use it 5 years after college. It just disappeared. I don't know where it is.
I drank a lot in college because that was like what you said you thought you were supposed to do, you know?
Hmm. Yeah.
Um, I didn't drink as much as a lot of my other friends did, but I would like to go back to college and maybe do a semester or 2 like now when I don't like I don't drink or really do drugs anymore,
Hmm.
occasionally I'll do mushrooms like once a year or something, but I would like to I imagine there was people in college that were like, "I'm taking this seriously," and I'm sure I knew some of them, but it's just such a like, I'm free from, my parents and this constraints and this and that, whatever it is, and people get loose and you look back now and you're like, "Oh, this is like it's a problem." Like, it's
Hmm.
for so it would be interesting to go back and what's Devil Spring? Was that something you drank in college?
100 proof
What?
vodka.
Devil Spring?
Insane.
It's called Devil Spring.
Devil spray. It is rubbing alcohol. It's one of those things where you're like, I just burned the roof of my tongue, the roof of my mouth, my esophagus. You can feel it going down and into your body and then out of your body. It is why are you drinking this? Oh, you do not want to live anymore. It was college was crazy. And then you mix it with fruit punch. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, this gonna cut it. This will take the edge off of it. You're just like,
Oh, hold on. I just pulled it up. It's 151 or 160 proof.
"Oh, shit, I
You
thought it
said
was 100
100.
proof."
You weren't even
Yeah,
but you're right.
I
I mean,
wasn't
it's
even close.
worse. Yeah, 75 or 80% alcohol by volume. What the fuck?
Lord. Lord.
It's
It was it was
by the way, there's a
crazy.
place called Drink Up New York that sells liquor. What the fuck? I
It
don't even know.
is
We have Bevmo here, but this guy, Drink Up New York, 700. Yeah, that is dangerous
mess,
right there.
mess. And we just and you're a kid, you're like, "Yo, hey, this will last us for the whole month because
That's
it's
the
that strong."
That's the thing when you were young, you were just like, "What is going to be the most bang for the buck?" And
We're on a budget.
yeah, yeah. It's kind of a cool bottle. The bottle
No,
looks
don't even try it. Don't just the
No, no,
bottle
I'm not
oh,
trying.
yeah.
Like I said, I don't drink.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, but the bottle, it's plastic though, the bottle, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, yeah, the bottle looks like almost like hipstery. You know what I'm saying? Where I was like, "Hey, we got Del Smith," but I know that shit's a nightmare. I wouldn't like I said, I barely drink. I'm certainly not getting 151. That's flammable. That shit.
Oh, yeah, you're like, people were smoking cigarettes, it's like, "Hey, do you wanna fucking light this bitch on fire? What's wrong with you?" You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
yeah.
crazy,
100%. You're like, "We ran out of gas. Don't
crazy,
worry. I've got some Devil Spring we can pour into the car. Get home." Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it should be illegal, like that stuff. Like that is so like you said, that is like one step away from rubbing alcohol, which I know kills you if you drink it.
Mhm,
That's like, yeah,
mhm. Oh, yeah, and you were like, "How are people surviving after this?" But like I said, they had it with, the fruit punch, they put in Sprite, it just yeah, I'm so glad that I lived the life that I did. Would I
yeah,
would I change a few things? Sure, sure, but I could talk about it, I lived to talk about it. How about that?
yeah. But if you're happy now, or you're happy with who you are now, all the stuff that happened formed that. I think that's sounds like a self help book, but I mean, I think
Oh
that's like part
god,
of the thing of accepting
yeah.
yourself is like saying, I mean, I mean, I say this all the time, but I remember Lance Armstrong saying like him getting cancer was the best thing that ever happened to him, which is like you can look at it negatively or you can be like, that shaped who I am and got me to these experiences that I lived through, but then also allowed me to see life in a certain perspective. So yeah.
Didn't
So you
he,
should write a letter to Devil Spring and thank them. You
didn't
know.
he, did he cheat on his wife after cancer?
I don't know. He definitely took like steroids. He cheated on a lot of things. Like I and
Yeah, there it is.
but he's successful. I mean,
There it is. There it is. There it
yeah,
is.
yeah, he cheated on
Golly.
the biking thing. I've always was kind of like whatever. They all of literally everybody he competed against that year was also doping, as they call it. It's funny they don't call it steroids, they call it doping or whatever,
Mhm,
which sounds like weird. Like what are they shooting up heroin? But so they were all doing it. So clearly he was the best still after all doing it, kind of thing. It's like
mhm.
the way baseball. But yeah, he look, yeah, like you said, nobody's perfect, but Lance Armstrong, when did he cheat on his wife? I didn't even know he cheated on his right wife.
I
I just
thought he
remember all
did.
those
I could be
those
wrong. Don't
all those
don't quote me.
I'm
I
looking
be
I got
having
Google right here.
okay, thank you.
Uh oh yeah, yeah, the history of infidelity. Ah, Sheryl Crow. How could you? I forgot he was married to
Mhm.
Sheryl Crow.
Yep.
Yeah, cheated on his first. Oh, I'm sorry. He cheated on his first wife with Sheryl Crow. All right. Uh,
It's like it's like one minute you're like, I wanna be mad at him, but it's like, it is
yeah,
Sheryl Crow, you know?
yeah, yeah. All you want to do is have some fun. She said it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
wanna do
uh,
I think the wife kind of understood. She was like, "Well, if you're gonna cheat,
yeah,
let it
I
be a
don't think she
lesbian."
understood. Damn.
No?
Like I've been in enough relationships with women that I don't think she was like, you know what? She's really pretty. Great song. She did the Aaron Brockovich soundtrack. So
Yeah. Oh, man. You gotta let him slide. Sheryl Crow, Aaron Brockovich soundtrack, but then you can't watch the movie ever because it just
Oscar
get
winner.
you
Yeah.
yeah, you'll
Okay,
be,
I have 8 questions to ask all my guests. I'm gonna ask you these
yes.
now. And here we go. 8 lucky questions with Sydney Washington. What's a small thing that someone did that helped you more than they know in relation to addiction?
Mm, I don't know, my ex-girlfriend, when I was first getting, sober, I mean, she really was there for me because I was going through it. Like, I was living with her, I didn't have no money, libido was gone. I was sad and I was still doing comedy. Like it was just so and she was really freaking understanding for the most part. Like really she was an aid for sure.
Yeah.
She never judged me and when I relapsed, she was there for me and I mean, I damn near owe her an organ because she really made sure I got back on my feet. And then when I got back on my feet, um we did break up. We did break up. Yes. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But we're still
You guys
cool.
still friends? Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah, we're
still
still
friends?
friends.
Great.
In the lesbian community, I mean, are you even a lesbian if you're not friends with an ex? So yeah. If the ex does not pull up to your wedding, did you even have an ex? That is what it is to be a lesbian.
Oh, I might be a
Yeah, no.
lesbian then. Um, I'm 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 friends with the majority of my exes, and I mean, in some cases, very good friends with, my ex. Like, when I date somebody, I'm like, "You're gonna have to just" I'm friends with and it's perfectly fine, I promise you, but yeah, maybe I'm a lesbian, so,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
that,
she was really there for me. Did not judge. Was really yeah, really, really helped me um like live. And I'm sure she knows that, but yeah, I'm very thankful for her. She really let me be as a mess as I could have. And then when I got back up, she did not throw it in my face that she basically put me back together again. It was yeah,
wow,
good woman.
that's that's rare. That's not even that's, like, a huge thing. I mean,
Huge.
it's
Yeah.
I don't blame people that wanna distance themselves from somebody that's an addict, especially if they're in a relationship with them. You would have every right to do that, in
Hmm.
some cases, protecting yourself. But the fact that she did that for you is huge. And you said, I'm sure she knows that. Maybe it sounds like maybe she doesn't. Maybe you should, sure she knows it, innately or
Yeah,
whatever. But
I think I've talked to her about it.
yeah,
But
that's
I'll
great.
after this I'll hit her up. I'll tell her.
Just send her a clip from this. You don't even have to
Yeah.
um, if your addiction had a theme song, and this can be any song, doesn't have to be a theme song. If your addiction had a theme song, what would it be?
Mm, shots, 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 everybody.
Fuck yeah. Wait, who
Yeah.
was it? Was that LMFAO? I don't remember.
Yep. And
Not shot,
Lil
shot,
Jon.
shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Little John. That's right.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. That I mean,
How do
literally,
you how was that even a song?
I
They were
don't
just
even know.
like
I don't know,
they were
but I
what the heck?
remember I would after I I accidentally got somebody roofied me in the club, and I was like, "I'm never drinking like I'll never have an open drink. I'm just gonna do shots." And so I
Yeah.
would just do shots. I would just shot. I would see the shot. Whoop. I'm good. You can't put nothing in my drink because I didn't put it down because I already took it. So
Holy shit.
yeah, I would only take shots, and that was for that was the from that was the 3rd, 4th quarter of my drinking career for sure.
By the way, your joke about roofies is hilarious. I
Thank
think that's
you.
fine. I think I
Thank you.
told you in there, but sounds like a weird thing to say on an addiction
It
podcast.
no, but it
Very
that
bad.
was
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I honestly, I should really get into the story. The story is that I started going into this, like, mega club, and this older lady was like, "Yo, um, you're gonna be here, you're gonna be hanging out, you're gonna hang out with a lot of people, a lot of different people. There's gonna be people who wanna hurt you, take advantage of you. They're gonna try to put something in your drink." And so how the girls are combating this is like you just gotta you have to know what roofie is, and a lot of times the girls don't know. They think they got blackout or something. Here's
Yeah.
Here it is, so you know what the difference is. We're gonna go to my house. You're gonna try it. You're gonna see what it feels like, so you know the difference. And then, if you take a little bit of it at a time, you start building up. And so if somebody gives you some, it might not do anything to you. It probably won't, because she's like,
Yeah.
"I've been doing it for years, and yeah, I don't really feel G anymore." And so
Yeah. Just build up the tolerance, and
it's
then
a
you
real
just
story. It's
you
a
can stare
real
them in the
story.
eyes while they're dropping the roofie in the drink. You're like,
I
"Yeah,
was
what's
like,
up?"
either
Like,
this woman is trying to take advantage of me, or this woman is my fairy, God roofie angel. And so
yeah.
yeah, and so it's real. It's definitely real. But
Yeah, for sure.
thank you for the thank you.
What's the dumbest excuse you've ever told yourself to justify your addiction?
I obviously did something wrong in a past life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so
was
that's
like,
what it
I'm
was. So
getting
you were yeah.
yeah, I am being punished for something I did in my other life. Because why is this so bad? I was man, and the thing is
Yeah.
that I looked presentable, and I was very likable, and I had so many friends, and so nobody was really telling me I had a problem. You know what I mean? People let me slide with a lot of things because I didn't I didn't look like somebody who was rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah, you should let yourself go a bit more, not that your hair or makeup or anything, just people would have helped you out. Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
Forrest, there were so many times there would be a photo and there'd be like a ring around my nose, and it's like, yeah, it's time to wrap it up. It's time to. This is messy.
Holy
This is bad.
shit.
And then I had posted I posted the photos on Facebook. It's like, girl, take the phone away. Take the app away. You can't be trusted. Can't be trusted.
Also, you had bad friends. Who's not like, "Hey, you gotta."
They were lit too. Everybody's lit.
Yeah.
It was
They all
honestly
had them. You just all
it
had
was,
rings or the
it was the best of times, worst of times, best of times.
the ring girls. That's what we call ourselves. Okay, what do you think is the worst addiction?
Um, the worst addiction,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I think alcohol is pretty bad, like a bad addiction, because it takes a long time to get the the side effects of the trauma of putting your body through drinking for so long.
Like, get rid of it, you mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, one of the things, like, about doing this podcast is I have, I've talked about everything from cigarettes and sugar and food and alcohol, like, all sorts of different addictions, and I really didn't think even as an addict, I'm not an alcoholic. Wasn't an alcoholic. I wasn't fully aware of the level of what it takes to get off alcohol and how dangerous it can be,
Mhm.
and I think that societally, whatever, if that's a word, I think people kinda look at that too. It's like, "Hey, just stop doing it," and it's like, because it's just alcohol. I drink because people that drink normally, and it's like, it's it's brutal now that I've learned from guests and read up on stuff, and I'm like, "Oh, this is terrible," so,
It's
yeah,
really rough, and,
yeah,
you know, when I relapsed, I realized I was like, "Oh, this does not make things better. This does not make me happy." Then I was just drinking and I was so depressed because it is a downer. It is a downer.
sure,
And so now I'm just in the fog. Before I was drinking and it was like, pop, lock, and drop it. Party over here. It was
yeah.
feeling like a good time. But then I was in quicksand. I was literally in quicksand with going back into that. And yeah, there was a moment where I was like, damn, I might die. I might die. So
Yeah.
I'm sure drugs like that too, you know what I mean? I was
I
heavily
look,
into cocaine as well. That's a bad addiction. Very expensive addiction. Very.
well, I don't think you were using your womanhood well enough then to get it because you can get
No, no,
like
no. Hold on
yeah,
now. Now
yeah,
let me tell you this,
yeah.
right? You could be fly as you want, but if you hitting that drug dealer over and over and over and over and over and again, he gonna start charging you. You know what I'm saying? Like I've used up all my freebies.
True.
And it got so bad where he was like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not giving you anymore. You clearly get help."
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
it there was a moment where it's like, "Am I ugly? Like why am I getting charged?" And it's like, "No, you have a problem. That's what you need
Mm.
help."
You're transparent. I think people are
Yes.
figuring it out, yeah. But I would say, man, some of the alcohol hangovers to drug hangovers, they'll give them a run for their money, if not beat
Mhm.
them. It's
Yeah.
brutal. That's why I see when you see someone that's like an alcoholic and they're 60, I'm like, How?" Like, I'm old now and I wake up sober, just creaky. Like, what is it like if you're 65 and you're alcoholic? You just, ugh.
They're probably
Um,
dead inside. They're also you build up a tolerance, like, you're not even really getting fucked up no more, you just feeling
Trying
numb
not to
to it.
shake. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
What's one word that you would use to describe your addiction?
Relentless.
It's a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
relentless. Hell yeah. I would use
Because
that for me too. Yeah.
even though I'm not on, the substances anymore, it's still in me, that, like, addictive personality. So, I'll
Yeah.
find something else. I'll
Yeah,
find
yeah.
something else
Relentless is
to
a good word. It's
yeah.
funny. I've only been asking these questions for about like 10 episodes, but I love doing them because no one answers the same thing, and they're
No,
always good
no.
answers, which I
They're
love it.
different, yeah.
So, what about one word to describe like your recovery, being sober?
Hmm, hopeful,
Yeah,
hopeful.
good
It's
one.
just
Yeah,
like, some people see me and I'm just living my life, doing my thing and having a good time and maintaining friends and going out and sometimes people don't even know I'm sober. They're like, "Damn, you're just awake." It's like, "Yeah, yeah." When I'm not sleeping, because of narcolepsy, I am up and having a good time with my friends, and they're like, "Damn, so you can be in these spaces and be the life of the party if you wanted to." It's like, "Yeah,
yeah,
yeah."
yeah, yeah. You're a comedian. First of all, I mean, you have that ability that most people don't have to be able to entertain people just with your just talking. So yeah, of course you can be the life of the party.
Mhm.
Um, what's your proudest moment in your recovery so far?
Proudest moment.
or a proud moment. Maybe.
Um, I don't know. I've had a couple of times where I'm like, yeah, you could have some wine. Could have some wine. There's like, or just have like get a beer, and I'm like, you're good.
Yeah.
So every time I have that little stupid voice in my head that's like, you could do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great answer because I was just thinking when I'm reading it, it says proudest moment, and then, but you, it doesn't have to be such something massive. Like there was this moment, like it is so hard when you're an addict for that voice in your head to put that down. So that could
Yeah,
always be your proudest moment the next time that happens. So
yeah.
yeah, I like it.
Every day that I choose sobriety, that's my proudest moment.
Yeah. And what's the worst advice someone gave you while you were struggling?
Girl, you ain't got no problem.
Yeah,
What you
classic.
mean? You showing up, you going to work, you keeping your friends, you like, look at
Uh,
you look amazing. Like
yeah.
just I tell, oh my God, but you look great. It's like, okay, that's not how could you be a cokehead if you look that good? It's like it happens.
The
It
non-self
happens,
help
bitch.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for nothing. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, last question. What advice do you have for someone that might be struggling?
Yo, you can't do it alone. Can't do it alone. This is not a one person, this is not a solo show. This is definitely like all hands on deck. I need a village. I need a team. You know, a superstar can't be a superstar by themselves. They got a whole bunch of people pulling them
Yeah.
together, pushing them up. So that's the same thing with recovery. It's like, even if you don't want to put it on your friends or your family or whatever, anybody who truly cares about you and has space for you would want the best for you in terms of getting better. And if they have the time and the space, they will make it.
Yeah. Make the connections. Yeah.
Mhm.
Awesome. All right, Sydnee Washington, thank you for being here today. What is the name? It's on Hulu, right? The half hour special
Yeah,
here?
it's there's no title because it's just, it's 30 minutes, but it's, LOL Live,
Hello Alive.
Heartbeat, Hulu. It's just a
Oh, it's like Kevin
series.
Hart's production company
Yeah,
did. Nice.
they have a series of like 10 other comedians on
Oh,
it.
well, great. Well, go watch Sydney on Hulu.
Watch me,
Sydney Washington.
please.
Yeah,
Judge
and
me,
then follow her on
please.
Instagram and TikTok, and then listen to her podcast with Marie Faustin called Mess. Thanks for being here,
Oh, wait, it's Marie Faustin. Sorry.
Austin.
Not
Yeah, did I
Yes,
mispronounce it the
Faustin.
first time?
Yes, fix
Marie
that.
Faustin. I'm sorry, Marie.
Marie
You're out
Faustin,
there.
like Austin.
Yeah, yeah. There it is. Like a F in Austin. Yeah, I should have figured that out. I looking right
Mhm.
at it. All right. Thanks for being here, Sydney.
Thanks, Forrest.
All right. Thanks again to Sydney Washington for being on the podcast. What a cool conversation. I love those questions. I'm glad I did those. I always feel like I send those ahead of time now. And I like that if people think about them. And I also like it ahead of time. And I also like if people kind of do them on the spot. I think Sydney was just doing them on the spot, but her answers were, I think it just evokes something great. People. Maybe I'll just do the whole podcast 200 lucky questions. I'm not. I'm not. You know what? Every week I read them. I'm like, I need to rewrite these a little bit. What's a small thing someone did that helped you more than they know? I think that's okay, but maybe with your addiction. If your addiction had a theme song, I definitely need to write that. If your addiction had a song that you could, if there was a song that you could make the theme song of your addiction, what would it be? Maybe that's a better way to write that. I don't know. Anyways, I'm perfect. Thanks for being here. If you are struggling, you feel like you need some help, you need to talk to somebody, you are in some sort of crisis, meltdown mode, suicidal, please call 988 in the US or Canada. Rest of the world, United Kingdom, 0800-689-5652. That is as long as the Germany one. I always bang on Germany for 030440100607. It's a little bit longer than United Kingdom's. But get your shit together. Australia's not bad. 13, 11, 14. If I was going to do the 13, 11, 14 over, I would do 11, 13, 14. I would just do like 11, 12, 13. something in order. But it's just me. Finland's kind of sucks too. 09 25 25 0111. I have to look and see where people are listening to me around the world because these are from the very first couple podcasts. But also, there's a Wikipedia page list of suicide crisis lines. Or you know what? Just call it the United States +1988. I don't think that'll work. Don't do that. But like Sydnee was saying at the end, you can't do this alone. You got to have a crew of people or reach out to somebody. You got to make those connections, those relationships. So that's what this is all about when I say all this shit at the end, these phone numbers. Reach out to somebody, make those connections, make those contacts, and it'll help you. And I will see you guys next week and love y'all.